after the game, he tried to gaslight Bears fans by saying, "Yo, it doesn't matter who called the plays. Everything goes through the head coach. Everything goes through the head coach. We meet, we confer on these things, just like when I'm calling the plays. It's the same situation." And you're like, "No, it's not," because he's literally calling either the same plays in a different order or a different time than you were, which leads to better execution. And he just tried to gaslight yo, I just want everybody to understand. And he doubled down on it in the second part of the interview. Yo, everything goes through the head coach. It doesn't matter who's calling plays. Everything comes through me. I was like, this is a Mariah Carey everything, and it all comes back to me. No, Matt Nagy was trying to save his ass, save his job, and pretend like, that you can't do this without me.
Yes. This reminds me. You brought up. You said Mariah Carey.
Yep.
So one of the things that I've noticed is sort of a phenomenon over the last, like, I don't know, as long as I've been alive, is when people talk about pop stars will do something, whether it's Christina Aguilera with the song "Dirty," Lil Nas X and the stuff he's been doing recently, Miley Cyrus naked on a wrecking ball, Madonna with like the cone bra, whatever it is. Anytime somebody does something controversial to get attention, because that was the whole point in the first place, people say like, "Oh, it's artistic expression." Like, no, they're trying to get eyeballs on
Yes.
themselves
They
so that
know
they can
what they're
sell you their
doing.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, you really think Lady Gaga wanted to wear a dress made out of meat? Probably not. Like, it got attention. It did a good job of getting attention. But anytime that you ever see any of these like young starlets or pop stars interviewed, it's like, Barbara Walters would be like, well, "What do you think of the influence you're having on the children?" And
They're all like,
what,
F them kids.
but
Little
no, they
little
go,
Nas literally said, F them kids.
but they usually go the Charles Barkley route, right? Like, I'm not a role model. Like, unless you're trying to be a pop star, I'm not a role model. I shouldn't be an influence for your behavior and your activity.
But you are,
Meanwhile,
though. Like,
yeah, if
di-
somebody comes up to them in a meet and greet or something like that, and they said, "Hey, Britney Spears, you're such a good influence on my life," what do they say?
oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Exactly. Exactly. So one thing, and I've always hated that people do this, if you admit the ability to influence, it goes both ways, right? So
Yep.
to Matt Nagy, I say this: be careful what you wish for. Because if you want everything to stop with the head coach and you want the head coach to get all the credit, then those 9 sacks of Justin Fields last week, that's your
That's
fault.
all
Look,
yours.
if everything goes back to the head coach, then everything goes back to the head
No,
coach.
no, Ralph, because last week we didn't execute properly. Need the coaches, all the coaches had to do stuff better. The players needed to do stuff better. And Justin needed to be better too. He's a rookie quarterback. So everybody needed to be better last week. But this week, everybody was better, but it all came through the head coach, though. It all funneled through the same little hole.
Who has less credibility in their own organization right now, Matt Nagy or Urban Meyer?
Matt Nagy today the because his assistant coaches are like, really? Oh, okay, guy. Like that wouldn't
He
wouldn't that
just
wouldn't that rub you the wrong way at your job though?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely it would. And if you're a Chicago Bears fan and you have a shitty boss in real life, this is call in. Don't go to work today because you had to watch your head coach give this press conference where it's like, "Hey, anything good that this happens in this organization all comes back to me anyway because if I made the decision that I wasn't good enough to do something so that I'm going to delegate, then that was my decision anyway, so hooray for me." If you have a boss if you work in Chicago or you work in anywhere else in the United States, you're a Chicago Bears fan, and you're going to go into work on Monday morning with that same type of boss, you're going to be grinding your teeth all day long. That's going to be rough for you.